Hola, hola, hola. Good morning, good evening, wherever you are, doesn't matter. I am Aqua Candy Love. How are you all today? Why is it so quiet? Is my desktop audio not? Oh, did the music stop? Maybe, maybe. I hope it wasn't too quiet. Like when I checked in my headset. Yeah, like I have like my headset turned down, of course. How is everyone today? How is everyone today? I hope everyone's having a good day. Ooh, I'm gonna get me some coffee. Coffee! Coffee, 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 coffee. My throat feels very dry. I must hydrate. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Mm. Huzzah. Oh, that's where it's not picking up on. Okay, gotcha. Do I have it just too low then? Let me check that real quick. Oh, I did. So it's been quiet for you guys. Aw, that makes me sad. It's okay. We'll turn up that music for the outro. How does that sound, you guys? You get to rock out to the outro. Woo. uh, whoopsie. It's okay. I derp all the time on this channel. I think everybody is just like, yep, this is normal. This is normal Aqua Candy behavior. Let's go. All right, you guys. So that being said, I am going to get us started. Bloop, 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 bloop. Transition. Yes. Oh, what is happening? What is happening? The darkness, it consumes us. We are going to watch some Thought Potato today, you guys. I got quite a few videos for Thought Potato, and it is the first one we have here is Mermaid Biology Explained. Yes, today we are going down the route of sirens and mermaids and learning all about that because why not? I am a siren. I am a siren sea witch. Let us go and explore the realm of the mysterious deep, since I know I've probably drawn in a lot of people that are that have a little bit of a fancy for the deep oceans. Yes, yes. Oh gosh, I'm probably sounding so cringe, you guys. My bad. It's fine. Let's go. Let's go. I'm excited. Okay, do we have the volume turned up? We're going to turn all the way up. I hope everybody can hear that. Just anybody confirm with me if it does not. Yes, hello, Ghostly. Hello, hello. Welcome. We are about to go into some origins of the mermaids and the sirens of the deep. Yes, we are going to tap into my inner siren today, you guys, because I want to go down this route with you, and there's a lot of deceptive things that not very many people know about mermaids and sirens. So, yeah, let us get into it. We're going to watch some Thought Potato today. Enjoy, you guys. Let's go. Hopefully, you can hear me over the video. Just let me know if not.
The depths of the ocean conceal a myriad of secrets. There is no region of the Earth so unexplored, no biome so little understood. For those species who dwell on the land, the mysteries of the sea have existed as little more than shadows passing beneath its surface. But
Yes.
sometimes the line between the domains of land and sea become blurred, and in the image of the mermaid, they have even become fused together. Over the last 1,000 years, both the siren and the mermaid have become interchangeable, and the reason is understandable. Both are icons of the sea. Both represent beauty.
Did you see the Gameoverse trailer? I have not, my dude. I have not. Maybe if you would like to send that in my Discord folder, I will check it out, definitely. A new show from Glitch and Rubber Ross. Got you, got you.
And danger. As I have already shared,
Ooh.
the siren
Oh,
is a
that
different
skeleton.
kind of...
Oh, God. I don't know why my brain went to, like, how with dinosaurs they like to shrink wrap them and not add muscle or fat or anything to it, and we just assume that they're lizards. Like dude, I'm picturing this as like a dinosaur for some reason. Like look at that. Oh god. Imagine that thing popping up like, "Hello. Welcome."
Beast than the legends tell. The mermaid
They
is
live in the
horrifying,
abyss,
if you
like, good
like, is
lord.
as well, but not for the reasons one might expect. In fact, when I set out to find the truth behind these famed and allegedly mythical beings, I had little idea what to expect, particularly after my findings in the case
Mm,
of Sirenus horridus. What
dude,
follows
the
here, my valued
artwork.
listener, are the complete findings my team and I dredged out of those ocean depths.
Ah.
And as with so many creatures once relegated to myth, the truth of the mermaid borders on the unbelievable. In research and in life, genetics are fascinating, and if you've ever wanted to trace your own lineage, then I am pleased to tell you that I've partnered with MyHeritage, a leading global family history and DNA service that makes exploring your family history extremely easy and honestly pretty fun. I got my kit in the mail, and as you can see, everything is clearly
Interesting.
laid out
Oh,
and
okay, this
instructions
is the
are very
sponsor.
straightforward. As a side note, I have to
I've been
say I was
interested
impressed
in
with
this, you
MyHeritage's
guys.
comprehensive privacy policy. They're clearly very committed to never selling or licensing any genetic data, and all of
Huh.
their features are very transparent. I also like that their test covers more regions than any other test out there. To get started, essentially all you need to do is take out the swabs, swab each cheek for a
Swabby.
while, put them in these secure capsules, and mail them back. It takes a
But no,
couple of
I've been
weeks for the results to
interested in,
process, so
yeah,
in the meantime,
like I've been interested in stuff like this, so I might check this out, you guys. Like just in general, like I have no idea of like I know a lot about my mom's side of the family and family tree and stuff, but I have no idea of my father's side. Like my father is it is a mystery box. It is a mystery box. Again, I think I've said it in the past. Like the story of my conception is when a man and a woman get drunk and do stupid things. Ah! Oh god. I didn't mean to go all the way forward like that. Rude. Okay, but we can get past the sponsor. But yes. Oh my goodness. That is my origin story with that. So, you know what? Even then, I feel like that adds a little bit of mystery to myself anyway. So, there's that. But at the same time, I would love to learn about like my my DNA. Yes, let's go.
a few short months before our investigation began, murmurs of a humanoid creature with the tail of a fish were received, coming from the Caribbean
Oh, that's
island
so
of
pretty.
Hispaniola. These, of course,
Uh-huh.
were not the first sightings in that region, nor will they likely be the last. But these
Okay.
reports carried a certain credibility that I simply could not ignore. And
Oh,
so,
yeah?
entirely unsure of what we may find, my team and I were funded and dispatched, landing in a classified location in nearly
So left to get the milk. Dude, dad left to get the milk before he probably even knew what to get, what milk to get, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how to put that. Like, I don't think dad even knows. That's the problem, you guys. Like, I'm one of them Why does that make me think of like the dudes that be like talking about like having like a hookup and stuff and then being like, "Oh, I probably have some mystery children out there somewhere." It's like, "Yes. Yes, I am one of them mystery children apparently." Like I'm just like that random like what is oh god that god dang it. Now that makes me think of Quagmire when he like goes to the school and like he sees like a whole bunch of kids being like, "Papa!" Like, no, no. It's okay. I'm just one of them kids going, Papa. Like, no. Can't today. I hope you all are having a good day today. That made me laugh a little too hard. I made myself laugh a little too hard at that one. Oh, goodness. It's okay. People can make theories with that dude. Just add that to my lore, okay? Y'all can make some theories, man. It's okay. My mom was in Florida during the time of my conception. I know that for a fact. We don't know what be happening in them swamps and bayous. I don't know what kind of shit my mom came across. My mom was a freak. I'm not gonna lie. I love her, but like my mom has some stories. We'll just put it that way, you guys. Like, oof, oof, oof. Anyway, let us get back to the video. Mermaids!
Record time. After weeks of fruitless searching,
I'm gonna
interviewing
drink my
locals, and
coffee.
long seasick days spent at sea, I was on the verge of losing hope. But then, as I'm sure comes as no surprise, my colleagues and I at last found fortune. A trap
Uh-huh.
of sorts, submerged at depth just east of the Windward Passage, was triggered. In
Oh, yeah?
truth, I thought it likely to be a common aquatic species entirely
Oh,
known to science. But when the
okay.
bars of that cage broke through the water as we hauled it up, it
Uh-huh.
took a long moment for what I saw to register in my mind.
What'd you
What
see?
scrambled there was neither fish nor
Fishy!
human. It was alien, and
Fishy!
yet somehow familiar.
Fishy!
It was a species unlike anything I had seen, and I have dubbed it
Oh.
Aquasapiens pisciformis.
Aqua Why? Aqua sapiens pisciformis. Yes, that is a word.
It is the current belief among mainstream scientists that at some point in the distant past, a certain
Uh-huh.
group of artiodactyl progenitors took to the water. Fossils from transition species such as Pakicetus and Ambulocetus appear to exhibit
Oh
intermediate
god.
anatomical
Those
adaptations to a
things look
semi-aquatic
terrifying.
lifestyle, though they still possessed 4 limbs and were fully
Oh gosh, that skeleton.
able to walk on land. Eventually, proto-seeded descendants of these species, such as Rhodocetus, refined these aquatic adaptations even further, using their
Uh-huh.
webbed feet for propulsion and their tail as a rudder. Then came early cetaceans like Basilosaurus, in which the hind legs
Yes.
became vestigial and the forelimbs became flippers. Even more impressively, the spine elongated greatly and now terminated in a primitive fluke, allowing for powerful movement through the water. Now,
Honestly, this is the reason why I find so much fascination with like not just whales, but I think like he was using the term cetaceans. Cetaceans is, I guess, I think is the scientific term for whales and porpoises and dolphins and such. Essentially mammals that live in our oceans, which is really I've always found like the biology of them very intriguing. So, yes, let us continue.
we see nearly 100 species of whale, each exhibiting a host of
Whale,
specialized adaptations to a variety
whale.
of climates, food sources, and even preferred position in the water column. Should it come as a
Yes.
surprise, my valued listener, that another, unrelated lineage might have followed a similar evolutionary trajectory, I posit that Aquasapiens pisciformis is descended from a group of shoreline-dwelling primates, much like the group that likely
Huh.
came into contact with Sirenus horridus along the Mediterranean. Whether due to competition or scarcity elsewhere, this hominid population moved from the trees and took to the abundant resources the shallows provided.
Realistically speaking, I could see that in it. Like, I know like the whole Darwinism thing has always been like a form of debate, right? But like when it comes to in general animals evolving, like that has been proven scientifically. So it's really interesting to think that maybe there was another subspecies of cetaceans potentially. And then there's also a lot of other species. I don't know if would manatees fall in the same form as cetaceans now that I think about it. Oh help! Oh Princess Mono Barney is tangled in her long golden hair. It is drowning in Coca-Cola. Ooh, I want some Coca-Cola now. I want some Coca-Cola now. Oh, you tempted me with the Coca-Cola. I want some Coca-Cola. Om nom. But pop is bad for you. You should drink more water, you guys. Drink more water. It's much healthier. Ah, good morning, unknown apparition. We are doing the origins of sirens and mermaids. And sea life when it comes to our spoopy Saturday today. So I've been kind of having some serious talkies with it, I guess. Just kind of like my own theories, I guess, with it. But that's just me. It's just me. Like, take my words with a grain of salt, you guys. I'm just a derpy person that always has her head in the clouds. So Wait, are you saying Siren Head is a mermaid? Oh god. Now, oh, that would be a meme, wouldn't it? Just like Siren Head, but like with a freaking mermaid tail, just going with just blaring like in the game, like brrr. That'd be great. Oh god, that would be hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, but no, I figured this would be a fun one, just in general, and I feel like I need to chill out on some of the games because I've been stressing, and it doesn't help that this weekend we are getting some hell of a weather where I currently live up north in the U.S. We are on a exploding tree advisory up here up north during the time I am recording this, you guys. Exploding trees, like it can get so cold that trees can explode. Like this is news to me. It's like wonderful. But yes, we're going down the origins of sirens and mermaids today because I thought this would be a fun one. I thought this would be a fun one. And I can chill and just talk with y'all and spit out my random theories as the space case that I am about it. So yes, let us continue. Let us continue.
Some
Mwah.
of my
Mwah.
contemporaries, including a marine biologist by the name of
God, I love that shoreline though. Like, where is that? Like I want to go to a beach like this where it's like where all the trees and stuff like see this is one thing I never experienced about I've never been on a northern coast beach. Honestly, you guys. I've always wanted to go to a northern coast beach where there's like pine trees and stuff over here like evergreens and then you got the sea. Like I had never experienced that in my life. I've always experienced like, you know, the typical like palm trees, tropical, you know, etc. when it comes to the beach. So it's something that has always intrigued me when it comes to the bu- the would it be the geography or the biology or both? I don't know. The flora anyway. Continue.
Alistair Hardy have argued that this shoreline dwelling population became increasingly adapted to the water, including a
Hmm.
loss of fur to better facilitate swimming, trading
Yes.
it instead for a layer of insulating subcutaneous fat. Some even view bipedalism as a natural result of this semi aquatic lifestyle. After
Ah.
all, the versatility of a vertical gait provides many advantages, not only for walking, but also wading and swimming. This so-called aquatic ape hypothesis posits that this lineage eventually gave rise to Homo sapiens, and that even our modern physiology echoes our semi-aquatic ancestry. Among the evidences for this theory, perhaps the most intriguing is that of the diving reflex, a physiological response that optimizes oxygen conservation and is initiated when the face is submerged and water fills the nostrils. Sensory receptors sensitive to wetness within the nasal cavity and areas of the face supplied by the trigeminal nerve relay this information to the brain, which in turn triggers the autonomic nervous system. This
Huh.
causes bradycardia, or lowered heart rate, and peripheral vasoconstriction, which restricts blood flow to the limbs and organs, thereby preserving blood and oxygen for vital organs such as the heart and brain. This conservation of
Ah,
oxygen allows
okay.
for a concentration of blood flow in a heart-brain circuit during apnea and facial cooling, both of which serve as triggers for the diving reflex. Interestingly, children have a higher survival rate than adults when deprived of oxygen underwater, potentially due to a brain cooling mechanism similar to the protective effects observed in individuals treated with deep hypothermia. Of course, the diving reflex is also observable in aquatic mammals such as otters, seals, and dolphins, but it is the fact
Fun little fact on my end, you guys. If one thing that I do know, speaking of which, since he's talking about children with that, um, fun little fact, apparently newborns have the ability, at least within usually the early times, like within the first few months, to be able to swim or float in water. Like they have like that ability to just, you know, be able to get themselves like move around in the water without having too many issues. Really surprising, honestly. Like people have done studies on that with newborns and swimming. But yeah, like But I don't know why my brain went to that, but it did. I was just like, when he mentioned that, I was just like, oh yes. See, I can throw my own shit in here. Just be like, look, I know this. I may not know everything about it, but I know this. It's like, look it up, you guys. Do your own research. I encourage it.
It
Go.
exists at all in humans that
Dolphin!
should not be ignored. It is my belief that, at some point, this shoreline dwelling hominid population fractured, one lineage possibly giving rise to humans, which returned to the land. The other lineage, however, would remain in the sea, venturing
Uh-huh.
further and deeper, until they no longer needed to rely on the shore at all.
Yee.
Unlike sirens, merfolk are indeed mammals, and as I believe they share a common ancestor with humans, may even be very loosely considered hominids. However, the level of specialization and potentially speciation exhibited by these creatures is more than enough to place them in their own genus. In similar fashion to whales, dolphins, and other marine mammals, merfolk are obligate air breathers and must surface periodically to inhale oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. This may come
Yes.
as a surprise to anyone who might have expected these creatures to have a set of gills, but given Pisciformis ancestry, the retention of lungs is not unusual. There are
So I guess what he's saying with that is that then instead of having gills, they would more than likely have blowholes then? Would that would probably make more sense for them to be maybe more if they existed, realistically speaking, if they existed, would they be would they be more cetacean like or fish like? That is always the debate, isn't it? uh, I don't know. And it also, I'm not gonna lie, it also makes me think of there's actually the Irish origins of the Selkie mermaid, which the Selkie, I believe, is supposed to be related to seals or has something like is associated with seals as like an animal in their origins. So I mean it's a strong possibility.
a number of more derived features, however, that are exhibited in merfolk physiology. For one, I have observed larger lung capacities, as well as a high concentration of hemoglobin in the bloodstream and elevated myoglobin in the muscle tissue, both of which allow for greater efficiency of retaining oxygen and increased functionality when oxygen levels are low.
Mm.
Additionally, we do observe the physiological effects of the same diving reflex present in other aquatic mammals, as well as ourselves, bradycardia and peripheral vasoconstriction when diving, which conserves oxygen for the brain and other vital organs. Lastly,
Ooh.
within the lungs, I have observed an adaptation that serves to resist the higher pressure experienced in deeper dives: abundant respiratory surfactant. This surfactant, a complex mixture of lipids and proteins, is crucial for reducing surface tension at the air-liquid interface within the alveoli, the tiny air sacs within the lungs wherein the gas exchange occurs. Under the high pressure of deep dives, this surfactant prevents the alveoli.
I was actually told when I was younger that I needed to draw like more who was it? Yeah, it was also my grandma. Of course, my grandma, being notorious as she was, like she would find a skill of mine and she'd be like, "Oh, did you know you could do this with this skill? Did you know you could do that with this skill?" Like I swear to God, she was always constantly like pushing me to do something. And one of them was in fact drawing the different organs of the body because again I think I've explained in the past where like my drawing abilities, it's like I'm not perfect at drawing, like nobody quote me, I'm mediocre at best, but like because of the fact that I can look at something and then draw it like very photographically in a lot of ways. It's a little warped, but I feel like that's just in general. Like she encouraged me at one point. She's like, "Did you know that you could draw like body parts and organs for anatomy books and stuff? Like you should learn how to draw anatomy." I'm like, I don't know if I want to draw all that. Like I don't know if I want to draw all that, grandma.
From collapsing, an
Like, no,
undesirable
thank you.
condition known as atelectasis.
I mean, I
Indeed,
could,
without it, the lungs would
but
be at a risk of
I don't
significant
know.
structural compromise during deep dives, leading to decreased efficiency of gas exchange upon resurfacing and inhaling.
Now that I think about it, weren't you gonna stream Dispatch? La la la. Sorry, I got tongue tied there. I streamed Dispatch yesterday. Actually, just got done streaming Dispatch yesterday. If you want to check that out later, Unknown Apparition. So today I'm just kind of chillaxing. Like I wasn't ready to focus on any games this morning, you guys, because I was so sleepy. I'm still very sleepy. And then in a little bit, I know oh, must have misread the timestamp on the post. Oh no, you're good. I literally just updated all of it this morning before I started. So you're perfectly fine, my dude. You're perfectly fine. But yeah, I just felt like doing more of a quieter spooky Saturday cuz again, I'm just very groggy, a little burnt out. The kiddos have been kiddos all week, and then of course we got the cold weather coming up, so me and the BF have been trying to excuse me, stock up on groceries and such. Like I gave him a grocery list to essentially go get the milk, but I know he'll come back. I hope anyway. Jeez, like I don't need that much drama in my life. um and then in a little bit I know the 6 year old's bio mom is gonna show up to pick her up to take her to like a friend's birthday party today, so I'm like, oh okay, so we got all kinds of stuff going on. I'm like, I just want to chill. I just want to chill. If I'm gonna stream today, we just gotta chill. But it's okay. I really enjoy this one because I'm like, ooh, this would be fun for today. The origins of sirens, mermaids, and all of the biology with it. Yes. We are have I like this stuff. I am the nerd that likes this kind of stuff, you guys. Like I don't want to live in the realm of reality. Like no. No. Like let me enjoy exploring the dark deep depths of our ocean. Ironically, we actually know more about our space and our outer space and solar system more than we do our oceans, you guys. It's really interesting. But anyway, let us continue. Let us continue.
Of course, after leaving the shoreline, this lineage underwent many, many more changes in order to optimize their body structure for swimming. Bones in the hind limb, such as the
Mm-hmm.
femur, tibia, and fibula, were reduced, while various associated muscles, such as the biceps femoris, semimembranosus, and the gastrocnemius, disappeared altogether. Meanwhile, the
Mm-hmm.
vertebrae became greatly elongated, an adaptation especially pronounced in the lumbar and caudal regions, where increased flexibility allowed for powerful undulating movements. Personal observation of modern merfolk indicates not only more robust.
I'm not gonna lie, it kind of looks like the bone structure of like a snake right here, like just in general. Like if you look, like they've done x-rays where if you look at the inside of a snake, it's like you get to see the whole entire like rib cage of the snake. It's really interesting. Anyway, continue.
Vertebrae than, for example, humans, but also,
I'm
of course,
weird.
a greatly
Let's
increased
go.
overall number. I have also noted highly derived intervertebral discs, which appear to feature radially oriented collagen fibers within the annulus fibrosus, as
Huh.
opposed to the lamellar structure found in terrestrial discs. This radial alignment likely serves to increase the disc's resistance to stresses encountered during swimming movements. Additionally, the end plates, which connect the intervertebral discs to the adjacent vertebral bodies, seem to exhibit specialized fibrocartilaginous properties, creating a smoother transition between the disc and the vertebral body. This both enhances load distribution and prevents excessive concentrations of stress. Of course, for most terrestrial vertebrates, hominids included, the spine isn't nearly as flexible as what we observe in Aquasapiens pisciformis, and this is especially true in the lumbar, sacral, and coccygeal regions. This lack of mobility is by design, as they must bear the weight of the upper body and provide stability during weight-bearing activities such as standing, walking, and lifting. For an aquatic species to swim effectively, however, this had to change. In modern specimens, I have observed great elasticity in certain lumbar intervertebral ligaments, specifically in the supraspinous ligament, the interspinous ligament, and the ligamenta flava. This, paired
A
with
ligament of
horizontally
flavor.
positioned vertebral facet joints, allows for
That's a
increased
word.
flexibility, while the specialized discs serve to efficiently transfer energy along the entire vertebral column. But all of this would be much less effective without a more powerful means of propulsion. And so, eventually, at the distal end of the elongating spine, It seems that a rigid, horizontally oriented wedge of connective tissue began to form, significantly enhancing thrust and eventually becoming a powerful
Thrust.
hydrodynamic fluke as the terminal caudal vertebrae became modified to
Sorry, he just like said a trigger word for me, just like thrust, 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 thrust. Okay, I'll stop.
support it. The adaptation of this tail is in stark contrast to that of the siren, which, due to a lack of horizontally oriented anatomy, exhibits a more anguilliform pattern of locomotion. Indeed, merfolk swim with wave-like movements along the body's dorsoventral axis, in a pattern known as dorsoventral oscillation. In terms of locomotion, when compared to the siren, this gives Pisciformis the distinct advantage of greater efficiency and endurance and enables it to move through the water at speeds of up to 14 miles per hour. Interestingly, although the
Nice.
lumbar and caudal vertebrae proliferated and elongated, forming the tail, the cervical vertebrae, or the bones in the neck, appear to have shortened, resulting in less flexibility. This loss of articulation has a major benefit, however, as it likely provides greatly increased stability to the head when swimming near top speed. After abandoning bipedalism entirely, and in order to support this entirely new method of movement, the musculature surrounding the spine also underwent extensive changes. Epaxial muscles such as the longissimus and iliocostalis began to extend along the entire length of the spinal column, while the hypaxial muscles such as the rectus abdominis and the obliques also increased in size. And although my time did not allow for an in-depth analysis in this area, it does appear that this enhanced musculature exhibits altered innervation and a proliferation of proprioceptors, which likely provide feedback on tail position, muscle tension, and movement. Finally, the pelvis, which once supported the hind limbs and facilitated a vertical gait, also underwent a gradual reduction in both size and function. In fact,
Huh.
in my observations of modern merfolk species, it appears that the pelvis is no longer directly connected to the vertebral column nor the hind limbs at all, and other than serving as limited support for various smaller muscles, it has become essentially a vestigial structure. But unlike the hind limbs, the forelimbs were retained. The reason for this is clear. Among the progenitor hominid population, tool use was likely already widespread. This, of course, gave this lineage a distinct advantage in terms of resource gathering as
We
well as
use an
defense
unga
from
bunga.
predators.
We
Even
we
as
we
this
we big
splinter
brain.
group moved into the
Yes.
water, the
Big
advantages
brain.
provided by articulate forelimbs likely
Big
proved
brain.
invaluable.
I
Still,
don't
a
know why
number
it
of
made me go there,
adaptations
but
do
like, my
appear to
bad.
have occurred here.
Big brain.
First, certain bones of the wrist, including the scaphoid, lunate, and triquetrum
Uh-huh.
bones, have partially fused, significantly reducing mobility between them.
Huh.
Additionally, the extensor retinaculum, a thick band of connective tissue on the back of the wrist, appears more taut than that of a human, further restricting wrist mobility. As a result, muscles like the pronator teres, responsible for rotating the forearm and hand in humans, is greatly reduced. Overall, this reduction in mobility allows for much improved transfer of energy while treading water, while still allowing enough articulation for grasping and hunting movements. Further
Okay.
adaptations include elongation of the phalanges as well as elastic
Phalanges.
interphalangeal skin membranes. Interestingly, some would argue that because of a common descent from a semi-aquatic ancestor, humans exhibit vestigial webbing between the fingers. Whether this is
A little
truly the
bit,
case
yeah.
is a decision I leave to you, my valued listener. For Aquasapiens
Oh.
pisciformis, these forelimb adaptations are useful for enhanced maneuverability, but likely serve as poor means of propulsion. Instead, this is much better accomplished by the tail. In fact, while swimming at
Yeah.
speed, merfolk appear to tuck their arms close to their sides for greater hydrodynamics, occasionally moving their hands slightly to act as a kind of rudder. Further
Yeah.
streamlining can be observed in the shoulder regions. Modified articulating surface
I mean, even if you look at fish, like, dude, I have like two aquariums. Like, even if you look at fish, like the moment they're ready to go, like they will put their little fins to their sides, like, and just propel that tail fin, like, go.
of the glenohumeral joint, as well as the sternoclavicular joint in the chest, where the clavicle articulates with the sternum, also appear to result in limited mobility. This
Ye
restriction prevents excessive upward and forward movement of the shoulder girdle, keeping the arms in a streamlined position during swimming. But while these adaptations help to maintain a more hydrodynamic posture, they
Uh-huh.
also stop merfolk from being able to effectively raise their arms overhead. We have now
Ah.
discussed at some length how the body of the so-called mermaid has adapted to its aquatic lifestyle. But beyond these more obvious changes, my research has revealed much, much more. Though it
Much
seems
more?
like a lifetime
Like
ago
what
now, I still
exactly?
recall capturing the specimen that would reveal so much about a species that had avoided scientific scrutiny for millennia. Its features, at once alien and familiar, are burned into my memory, vivid and
Ah.
unyielding. I was not alone in my efforts, but for my part, it's tempting
Spooky.
to say that I regret what transpired with that specimen.
I don't know how I would feel if something like this swam up to me. I'd be like, like the moment like I would see something like this in the water, I would like automatic thought would just be like, I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead, dead, dead.
But we
Like,
cannot
that's
change the
it.
past.
This is how I
Apart from
die.
its
This
morphology,
thing
one of the
kills
first
me.
features of merfolk anatomy you will likely notice are its eyes.
Like,
In terms of vision,
I'm
terrestrial
just
creatures
saying.
face relatively few challenges, at least when
Oh, the
compared to
void
aquatic
eyes.
creatures whose visual organs must account for exposure to both
Fishy!
air and water, a wide range of ambient light conditions, harsh
Oh,
waterborne
they're so
irritants, and
pretty. So
phenomena such
pretty.
as
Fishy, fishy,
refraction.
fishy, fishy,
Indeed,
fishy,
in comparison with
fishy.
their land-dwelling ancestors,
Fishy.
study of the Aquasapiens pisciformis eye has revealed an extremely high level of modification. First,
Hmm.
in response to varying light conditions, mermaid pupils display the ability to change not only size, as one might expect, but
Ah.
also shape. Their pupils are able to transition from a large, horizontal oval to two nearly vertical slits, serving to optimize visual perception in both air and water. Notably, the mermaid iris exhibits an
I love how I incorporated that with my model without even trying, you guys. Like, like just look at my eyes, just like, like, like I wasn't even trying, and now apparently that's a part of all mermaid anatomy. Yay, I did it. Accuracy, maybe.
asymmetric constriction,
Not.
resulting in two slit pupils with distinct sizes, shapes, and orientations that are slightly displaced forward towards the rostrum. In underwater environments where light conditions differ greatly from those in the air, the ability to transform the pupils to a narrower slit shape reduces the amount of incoming light that may cause glare or overstimulation. Additionally, the
Yes.
asymmetric constriction of the mermaid's iris appears to play a significant role in enhancing underwater vision. The slightly forward displacement of the slit pupils allows for improved forward vision and better focus on objects in front of the mermaid, and aids in reducing diffraction and scattering of light.
Yes.
Lastly, their eyes have also developed a nictitating membrane, a kind of translucent third eyelid, which serves to retain moisture and shields the eye from debris and other irritants. Their
Eat.
fleshy eyelids, while still functional, are more recessed when open and lack lashes entirely. In short, merfolk can see remarkably
Rude. Rude. Rude.
well in a variety of
I
conditions,
have
including low light
eyebrows.
and in both air and water.
I
One
have
notable absence,
eyebrows.
at least when compared to primates, is
They
that
may
of
be
any
tiny, but I
external ear
have them.
structure. Indeed, in my
And
observations, the
lashes.
entire pinna has been eliminated, presumably
Rude.
to reduce drag while swimming, but also because it would have little purpose underwater. Instead, we see little more than a small opening, which can be closed by strong muscles when underwater, preventing
Ah.
water from entering the ear canal, and opening when above the surface. Further within the ear, a combination of well-developed eustachian tubes and an advanced system of sphincters and dilating muscles within their nasal passage allow for a
Ah.
finely controlled pressure equalization process during dives, while robust ossicles and tympanic membranes allow it to withstand additional pressure. In
Ah.
addition, and though more examination would be required to confirm this, I find it likely that, much like dolphins and whales, the pisciformis jaw possesses fat-filled cavities, which may transmit sound vibrations from the water to the middle ear. Similar to the ear, the external nose and its cartilage have been greatly reduced, while a complex set of muscles appear to have arisen around the nares, or nasal openings. These muscles, which appear to include a more derived nasalis, allow for precise control of both nasal dilation and constriction. This, of course, closes the nasal passages while underwater and opens at the surface to breathe, strikingly similar to what can be observed in seals. In general, merfolk appear to be simultaneously skittish and curious creatures. In the past, they
Oh,
were
look at all
likely
them
found in abundance
floofs.
throughout many coastal waters, but
Look at all them floofs. Look at all them floofs, 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 floofs. Okay.
now, due to increased competition and pollution, their
Short.
number has likely
Aw.
dwindled considerably.
No,
As a
I don't
result,
like that.
sightings of Aquasapiens species are
I don't
extraordinarily
like
rare,
that.
and when
I
they do
know.
occur, They are
Uh,
often met with
like,
harsh skepticism. Of course, the infrequency of these sightings could also be attributed to their behavior. Unlike their deep sea cousins, a group that merits its own discussion,
uh-huh.
merfolk spend a majority of their time in the epipelagic or sunlight zone, but also
Yee.
traverse from lower depths to the surface multiple times throughout the day, frequently mirroring the diurnal vertical migration pattern of a major food source. Copepods. Though their shore
Oh.
dwelling ancestors had already begun to rely on the sea for food, in the transition to a fully aquatic lifestyle, the Pisciformis lineage needed to adapt even further. Fish, squid, and other small marine life compose a portion of the merfolk's diet, but, at least among the population I have observed, their primary food
I am a mermaid that is a big fan of crab legs. I love me some crab legs. Oh man, that is so good. I don't care what anybody says. I love me some crab legs. Yes. And I don't know what else, but that's my favorite. That's my favorite. I love me some crab. Anyway, go.
source appears to be the abundant swarms of small crustaceans called copepods. A direct reflection of this diet is found in their dentition. This species exhibits relatively large canines and
Ah.
incisors suitable for grasping larger prey, while their cheek teeth are trident shaped, allowing them to scoop the aforementioned crustaceans into their mouth and expel only water. In short, these teeth act as a kind of sieve and provide the merfolk with a highly flexible feeding strategy. Unfortunately, in my limited time, I was unable to ascertain the finer details of the Pisciformis digestive system, but cursory inspection revealed a highly muscularized stomach and intestines, as well as what appeared to be multi-lobed, reniculated kidneys, which is undoubtedly necessary in processing the large amount of ingested salt water. Like pinnipeds and cetaceans, osmoregulation is likely maintained via metabolic and dietary water, while incidental ingestion and dietary salt may help maintain electrolyte homeostasis. For now, however, we will move on to another notable aspect of merfolk appearance. At
Ye.
some point in the 1st century, famed Roman naturalist Pliny the Elder penned Naturalis Historia, one of the earliest encyclopedias. In it, he wrote of a creature called a nereid, a term often used to describe what we might think of as mermaids today.
A
Nor yet
nereid?
is the figure
Okay.
generally attributed to the nereid at all of fiction. Only
Oh,
in them, the
nereid.
portion of the
Okay.
body that resembles the human figure is still rough all over with scales, for one of these creatures was seen upon the same shores, and as it died, its plaintive murmurs were heard even by the inhabitants at a distance.
Oh.
The popular image of a mermaid with smooth, human-like skin on the upper body and fish-like scales on the lower is little more than artistic fancy. Indeed, as Pliny noted, Aquasapiens pisciformis exhibits a layer of scales on its entire body.
I mean, I could see that being like artistic fancy because it's like you don't want to picture something like this in the water, right? You want something a little more shiny and smoother, huh? But why can't it be both? Why can't it be both? Like, dude, I could come up with some really cool designs. I'm not gonna lie, you guys. I need to get back into drawing. I need to draw me some cool mermaid art.
But in fact, these scales are unlike those found in fish or reptiles, which are generally composed of lamellar collagen bone and coated in enamel. In merfolk, these structures are largely composed of keratin and formed by epidermal keratinocytes, which deposit filaments which in turn
Oh,
gradually
jeez.
harden into a relatively
Go
thin
away,
scale.
phone.
These scales, composed of the same basic elements as hair and nails, are larger and more dense along the tail, back, and neck, while thinner and more compact on the face and stomach, and nearly absent altogether on the hands and forearms. The purpose of these scales is likely threefold: improved hydrodynamics, camouflage, and even resistance to biofouling, or the accumulation of microorganisms, algae, and other organisms on the skin. And though further and more
Oh,
long-term
okay.
observation would be necessary to be certain, varying stages of growth in the specimen I examined indicate a cycle of shedding, wherein new scales form in the deeper layers of the epidermis and gradually push older scales outward, replacing damaged.
So basically maybe like a type of molting then? Because like there's a multitude of different like crustacean species that go through that. They'll go through a time of molting and such. And then there's also what is it? What is it? What is it? Belugas. Belugas actually seasonally go through a a cycle of molting, if that makes sense. And molting, they're just, again, just shedding the outer layer to make room for the new layer of things. So yeah.
Worn out scales over time. However, these scales likely offer very little in the way of protection, except perhaps from minor lacerations or abrasions.
Hmm.
Now, my valued listener, I must thank you for listening this far. Like
You're
so
welcome.
many records I have made, these findings likely seem to border on lunacy, but I assure you each of these subjects is firmly grounded in reality. Despite this fact, through the centuries, perception of the mermaid became skewed, and
Oh
it
yeah.
moved from certainty to fantasy. But along the way, whether
Ah.
in art or description, one aspect never seemed to change, that
Yeah.
of long, flowing hair. Indeed, though hair as we would recognize it is absent from the entire body, like humans, Aquasapiens pisciformis has retained it on the head. Initially, I was puzzled by this, as it seems this would only reduce hydrodynamics in a creature otherwise built precisely for it. After some consideration, however, I believe that it serves one major purpose: sexual selection. In a striking
Oh.
example of sexual dimorphism, the kind of long hair we associate with merfolk is only present in females. In males, the hair of the head is also present, but grows shorter and follicles are less abundant. The exact characteristics of this long hair can vary among different mermaid species, but broadly speaking, it is useful in attracting potential mates, and for those mates, likely contributes to their overall physical attractiveness.
Oh, dude, why does that make me think of, okay, not even to sound like I this makes me think of, dude, I don't know why this makes me think of, because I feel like this would be within like the siren territory of things, right? Of them luring men to their deaths, you know? Luring all the sailor men to their deaths, yes. Because I can't tell you how many dudes I've met in my life that absolutely love when a girl has long hair. And I can attest to myself, like, I like it when a dude has long hair, but that's just me. But like, there's so many dudes that I know that like a girl with long hair. So it's just like, maybe it's just to not only be attractive to potential mates, but even then just to lure particular, because I feel like it has to do with more than just like the siren's voice, right? Like it has to do with some form of a look, right? Like, because I hate to say it, men, y'all are very visual creatures. You cannot deny this fact of yourselves. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But anyway, continue.
Indeed, the volume
It's
and
a
length
joke.
of
It's
this
a
hair
joke.
may
I
be
promise.
indicators of health,
But
genetic
still,
fitness, and
like,
reproductive potential in the
ah,
context of mate selection. It may also
uh,
provide secondary advantages, such as obfuscation, breaking up their silhouette from potential predators. However, long hair
predators.
has also been
Short.
known as a desirable trait in human females, so
Yeah.
much so that many early bestiaries listed the mermaid's hair as a symbol of temptation and vanity.
Yes.
It is
Okay,
entirely
so yeah,
possible that for
it's going down that
Pisciformis, the
route.
hair of the
Of
head
course
is
it
used
is.
secondarily as a kind of lure for an occasional but very particular source of food: humans.
Om
It is
nom.
difficult to say for certain what level of intelligence Aquasapiens pisciformis possesses. In my severely limited interactions with these creatures, I can say that they exhibit tool use, such as rocks and bits of coral for killing prey. And, on a personal note, after looking into the eyes of this creature, I couldn't help but sense the workings of an intelligence that, after so many eons growing in an environment wholly
Uh-huh.
different from my own, is at once vast and potentially unknowable. It was precisely this experience that caused a certain colleague and I to so strongly disagree on what should be done with this creature. But
Oh.
ultimately, that decision was taken out of my hands.
Oh.
Unfortunately, this is the nature of the work. At least, on those long nights when sleep doesn't come, that is what I tell myself. In any case, it stands to reason that, having no need to develop fire, the wheel, or agriculture, Pisciformis never required the kind of intelligence bestowed upon their land-dwelling cousins. I see no evidence of a language, but cursory examination of the throat does reveal developed vocal cords, and given the fact that they appear to move in groups, it is well within the realm of possibility. One aspect of their intelligence that is without question, however, is a notable sense of curiosity. For a time in
Mm.
human history, interactions with merfolk were limited to distant sightings along the same shores that birthed both species. But
Like what's wrong with being curious? What's wrong with being curious? I like being a curious a little, little thing. Okay? Let me be curious.
As humanity entered the age of discovery and industry, sightings became more common. From the
Uh-huh.
vantage point of a large ship, glimpses of a human-like form bobbing among the waves occurred more frequently, though these accounts were rarely truly believed.
Uh-huh.
Occasionally, humans would breach the natural boundary between land and water, whether falling from one of these ships, or perhaps swimming too far from the shore, or even drawn to what they thought was a woman out at sea. Merfolk, naturally curious, would circle these unfortunate drifters, eventually poking and prodding, gauging the reaction of their new toy. After some time, exploratory bites became motivated by hunger. After the crossing of that line, there was no turning back. It is my belief that merfolk did not evolve to prey on humans, but instead, that after a less than friendly initial contact, a specific rogue population developed a taste for larger mammalian prey, and one that flounders in a watery environment is far easier to subdue. Unlike sirens,
Ah,
exposure to both
crap.
air and water, a
Why?
wide
Why do
range
you
of
do
ambient light
this?
conditions,
I
harsh water,
know.
but also traverse from pods. Though their shore-dwelling ancestors,
No.
at some point in the first, Pliny noted, Aquasapiens pisciform from minor lacerations or abrasions, present, but grows shorter and follicles are less abundant from potential predators.
Eh.
Pisciformis, the hair of the head is used to certain what level of intelligence Aquasapiens use, such as rocks growing in an environment. But ultimately, that decision was taken, I tell myself, bestowed upon possibility. Folk were limited to distant sightings of a human-like form and water, whether falling fortunate drifters, eventually poking and prodding, gauging the reaction of their new no turning back.
Okay, there we go.
It
My
is my belief
goodness.
that merfolk did not evolve to prey on humans, but instead that after a less than friendly initial contact, a specific rogue population developed a taste for larger mammalian prey, and one that flounders in a watery environment is far easier to subdue than one that could easily outswim them. And for a species that looks vaguely human at a distance, this population likely found that luring humans was not at all difficult. However, this behavior is the exception to the rule, and a majority of merfolk are naturally shy and defensive. But whether friendly or hostile, if you were to catch a glimpse of these elusive creatures, I must warn you of a distinct problem that arises. You can never know which one it is. This video was a work of fiction. Thank you for watching, and remember, you matter.
That was a good one. That was a good one. Of course, it's a work of fiction. We know this. It's okay. It's okay. Ah, but yes, I hope you all enjoyed that with the thought potato. Yes, yes, yes. That was for Mermaid Biology Explained for the first one there. And then our next one here is, let's see, we have The Deadly Allure of the Mermaid and the Deep Sea Mermaid Biology Explained. I don't think I want to go into the biology again. That one kind of like made me a little sleepy, but at the same time I found it very interesting, very intriguing. So, I think we're going to go ahead and do The Deadly Allure of the Mermaid, and we'll see where that takes us into the length of my stream here today, you guys. All right, let us
There
go.
is
Still
perhaps no
also
mythical
by
creature so cemented in folklore, so common in media.
pause. Dang it, crazy thing. Okay, so yes, the deadly allure of the mermaid, mermaids and sirens explained, also by Thought Potato. So let us continue. Yes.
There is perhaps no mythical creature so cemented in folklore, so common in media, and so clear in humanity's collective imagination as the mermaid. Since ancient times, mermaids have called to us, beckoning from the unknown depths, their hybrid anatomy and embodiment of the beauty and danger of the sea itself.
Yes.
Why has the image of the mermaid persisted through millennia and across cultures around the world?
I don't know,
And
you
could
tell
there
me.
be a grain of truth to any of these legends? Settle in, dear traveler, as we embark on a voyage to discover the mysteries of these aquatic amalgams, and along the way, we might learn just a bit more about what it means to be human.
Yes. Oh, hold on, hold on, hold on. I'm going to pause that and read it. First, you will come to the sirens who enchant all who come near them. If any one wearing or unwarily draws in too close, and hears the singing of the sirens. His wife and children will never welcome him home again, for they sit in a green field and warble him to death with the sweetness of their song. There is a great heap of dead men's bones lying all around, with the flesh still rotting off of them. Cirque to is it Ulysses? Would it be Ulysses or Ulysses? The from the Odyssey. Yes. That's a good actually, I remember reading that one in school. The Odyssey was an interesting one. Anyway, go.
Though fish-human hybrids can be found in the pantheon of cultures from Babylon to ancient Greece, the legends of mermaids, as we know them now, can be traced back to Homer's Odyssey, written in the 8th
Yes.
or 7th century BCE. The story is familiar even today. The hero of the story, Ulysses, must sail near an island said to be the home of the Siren, a creature whose song was so beautiful it could cause sailors to turn their ship toward it, only to be dashed upon jagged rocks, thereby killing them all. By forcing his men to stuff their ears with wax and then having them tie himself to the mast of the ship, Ulysses and his crew were able to resist the deadly allure of the Siren's song. But despite their important role in the story, Homer gives no description of these creatures. It was only later in artistic interpretations of the immensely popular poem that the sirens would be depicted as half-human, half-bird hybrids. Over
Oh.
time, depictions of sirens began to slowly transform. The journey from siren to mermaid is an interesting one, and it's covered more in depth in this video. Suffice it to say that by the medieval period, bestiaries and other catalogues had so conflated the two concepts that the 8th century Liber Monstrorum describes them this way. Sirens are sea girls who deceive sailors with the outstanding beauty of their appearance and the sweetness of their song, and are most like human beings from the head to the navel, with the body of a maiden, but have scaly fishes' tails with which they always lurk in the sea. For the next few hundred years, the image of the siren could be found on jewelry, illuminated texts, coats of
Yee.
arms, and even the Bible. Often, the siren was pictured alongside common animals and was even described by natural historians and theologians. Eventually, the
Yes.
bird-like image was virtually entirely replaced with that of a half-fish, half-human, so much so that
I kind of
today
like the
the
half
words
fish.
siren and mermaid have become completely interchangeable. But the concept of the mermaid isn't restricted to ancient and medieval Europe. In fact, similar beings are found in cultures and beliefs across the globe, and like the original siren, they're not always female.
Not always. Yeah, no. That's the surprising thing. Oh, wait. Oh, pause. Man of the black cap, what do you say as your proud ship cleaves the brine? My speedy ship takes the shortest way, and I'll follow you line by line. My men are eager, my men are ready to drag you below the waves. My ship is speedy, my ship is steady. If it sank, it would wreck your caves. Oh, that's a little dark, but okay. Yes, it's still
Off the
playing,
coast of
right?
Scotland,
Okay.
you
I
may
was
come
like,
across the blue men of the
that
Mish,
pause.
also known as storm kelpies. From the waist up, they appear as normal men, save their blue skin and gray beards.
Uh-huh.
With the power to create storms, they roam the surface of the water seeking ships to sink and men to drown. In Africa, legends speak of a water spirit called Mamiwata, which means
Oh,
mother of the waters. For those who worship
okay.
this spirit, often depicted in the form of a half fish or half serpent human, beauty, health, and wisdom are bestowed.
So I wonder if those are just regular snakes. I wonder if it's like what are they called? Anacondas. Aren't anacondas somewhat aquatic snakes? I can't remember. Anyway, continue.
Some of these spirits may have spawned tales of mermaids in the Caribbean regions when slaves brought their folklore with them to the West.
Ooh,
Aquatic humanoids can also be found in the myths of the Inuit people of northern Alaska and Canada. Inuit mothers would
that
warn
makes
their children
sense.
of the Qualupalik, creatures whose silhouette may appear human, but who are covered in scaly, bumpy skin. Like the siren, the Qualupalik may lure a child to the shore with a sound like low humming, only
Oh, that face. Like look at that face, you guys. That
for the child to be
imagine
suddenly
that popping
attacked,
up out of
pulled
the
beneath the
ice.
frigid waves by cold, webbed hands. On the other side of the
Spooky.
world, the Boto Encantado stalks the Amazon River,
Okay.
usually in the form of a river dolphin, but
Oh yeah,
occasionally
those
this
things. Oh my
shape-shifting spirit
god.
may take the form
I don't care what anybody says. River dolphins are like terrifying looking. I'm just saying, like, I don't know what happened in their evolution, but they are terrifying. They are absolutely terrifying looking.
of a handsome young man
Uh,
or beautiful young woman who can venture onto land in order to seduce and abduct unwitting humans.
ah,
With
okay.
legends like these and many more too numerous to cover here, we have to ask ourselves, can this many cultures actually be on to something? Is it
Maybe.
possible that aquatic humanoid creatures actually exist? Throughout history, the answer to this question would be, and sometimes still is, a resounding yes.
Another one. Okay. The day before, when the admiral was going to the Rio del Oro, he said he saw three mermaids who came quite high out of the water, but were not as pretty as they are depicted, for somehow in the face they look like men. He said that he saw some in Guinea on the coast of. Oh God, I'm so terrible. Manageta? Manageta? Would it be pronounced Manageta? I'm sorry if I mispronounced that one. I'm still trying to learn pronunciation. Okay, from the diary of Christopher Columbus, January 9th, 1493. Got it. Okay, interesting.
One of the
Not a
earliest
fan of
accounts of
him
a
at
creature
all.
resembling a mermaid comes from
Not at
first
all.
century naturalist Pliny the Elder. In a matter of fact tone, he describes creatures he calls
Like, I hate to say it, but like when it comes to a lot of like old European explorers anymore, when I've heard certain things of what they've done and things like that, it's like their credibility just kind of went down for me. Especially Christopher Columbus. Like that is like the biggest lie that they like to throw out there for society, don't they? Like no, no. Anyway, continue.
Nereids and claims that one was found off the coast
If
of
you know,
Lisbon.
you know.
He remarks that as opposed to the common notion of a smooth-skinned, fully human upper body, the portion of the body that resembles the human figure is still rough all over with scales.
Hmm.
Throughout the
Okay.
next centuries, as people began to sail distant oceans in massive ships, reports of sightings occurred more
Hmm.
frequently.
I could
Christopher
see that.
Columbus, an educated man widely read in geography, astronomy, history, and of course
No. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
navigation, described an encounter with three mermaids, and though they weren't as beautiful as the legends told, he seemed to have no qualms about the legitimacy of their existence. Then, in 1608, during an expedition to discover the Northwest Passage, English sea explorer Henry Hudson claimed that several
Hmm.
crew members looked overboard one day and spotted a mermaid. His account
Okay.
of that day describes a human-like creature with the back and breasts of a woman and with very white skin, long black hair, and a spectacled tail like a porpoise. For a time she floated in the waves, came close to the ship's side, and looked earnestly on the men. Just
See, that's what I'm saying. Like Selkie. Selkie. That was totally a Selkie. Like the description sounds like more like a Selkie. Like I swear to God. I mean, I'm not saying that that person's credible either, but like again, I don't trust any of the accounts of like any old European explorers anymore. It's just it doesn't make sense to me. Some of them I think have over exaggerated in history. And when you think about history as a whole, you guys, always remember is that history is written by the victors. So always remember that thought process there with that. Like, dude. Like again, like but again, that description just makes me think like automatically makes me think Selkie. So I have to sit there and wonder, was it a Selkie or was he just putting that down because he knew the origins of of the Selkie because of the Irish lore to it. I don't know. I don't know.
years later, famed colonist and mariner
Just makes
Richard
you
Whitbourne
wonder.
spotted what he described as a strange creature in a Newfoundland harbor. He
Uh-huh.
stated that it was beautiful, with blue streaks resembling hair and a lower body that pointed like a broad-hooked arrow.
Ah.
In the early 1700s, Samuel Floers, an artist for the Dutch East India Company, illustrated a mermaid as part of a larger work that showcased numerous tropical fish, crabs, and crayfish. In a description
Ooh,
of the
okay.
somewhat out-of-place artwork,
Interesting.
he wrote that I had this siren alive
That
for 4 days in my
drawing.
house at Ambon in a tub of
Oh my God, that drawing though. What in the heck, sir? Gave her gave her a triple chin and everything. Rude.
Water. My son brought it to
Rude.
me from Buro, where he purchased it for 2 ells of cloth. It died of hunger, not wishing to take any nourishment, neither fishes, nor shellfishes, nor mosses, or grasses. It did nothing
Uh-huh.
but whimper little cries that sounded somewhat like rats. I had the
Ah.
curiosity to lift its fins in front and in back and found that it was shaped like a woman.
Oh, okay.
Sightings like these continued through the 19th century, and though many sailors never caught a glimpse of a mermaid for themselves, the image of these mystical beings became ubiquitous. The creatures
Ye
even adorned ships and guarded the edges of maritime maps. Even today, the
yes.
sightings continue. In 2009, numerous beachgoers to Kiryat Yam, Israel, reported seeing a mermaid frolicking in the waves just off the coast. So numerous were the reports, and from so many different sources, that one town council offered a $1 million reward to anyone who could provide photographic evidence of the creature.
Dude.
Unfortunately, as of now, the reward has gone unclaimed.
Aw.
Numerous
It
videos
makes
could be
sense
spent
though.
discussing mermaid sightings in this century alone. But for the purposes of this video, the question is simple. What could account for all of these sightings? For
I don't know.
skeptics, the answer is a very different kind of aquatic mammal. Manatees have long been thought to be the source
Manatees!
of most mermaid sightings,
Oh, I love manatees. Manatees are so sweet, you guys. They are so sweet and gentle and like, oh my goodness, they're such adorable, chubby, little, chubby, big sea cows. I freaking love them, manatees, all day.
including those referenced by explorers like Columbus. They are commonly
Manatee.
found in parts of the world where many
Look at
sightings
you,
have
you
occurred:
chubby
the
thing.
Caribbean, the
You're so
Amazon, and West
sweet.
Africa.
I
A
want
close
you.
relative, the dugong, is found
The
in the Persian
dugong,
Gulf,
yes.
Australia, South Asia, the east coast of
Oh,
Africa, and
look
throughout the
at
Pacific.
you.
Along with the dugong, the three
Oh.
species of manatee make up the
Hey,
only living members of
buddy.
the order Sirenia, a name that is directly derived from the mythical siren.
It makes me sad because of the fact that they were an endangered species. It's illegal to touch them. It makes me sad. It makes me so sad sometimes. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. But dude, I swear to God, when I see like clips of like when manatees, because the thing is, even though you're not supposed to touch them because they're an endangered species, they'll still go, they're so friendly and docile, they will still go up to humans and be like, hello, and try to hug you and touch you if you're in the water, if you just so happen to be in the water near them. I'm like, you friendly little butt heads. It's like, I want to pet you, but I can't. I want to pet him. I want to pet him, but I can't. Oh, anyway,
A fifth member
continue.
of the order
I'm
existed
just
until the
geeking
18th
out.
century.
Don't mind
Until it was
me,
hunted to
everyone.
extinction, the stellar sea cow swam in the Bering Sea
Oh,
off
sea
the east coast
cow.
of Russia.
Moo moo.
From a distance, Sirenians do possess some human-like features: bony fins, the ability to turn their
Yee.
head, and
Oh,
compared to
look
a
at that
fish, a
booper
somewhat
snoot.
simian face.
Oh my god, look at that snoot. Look at that beautiful snoot. I want that snoot. I want to boop that snoot. Let me boop the snoot. Let me boop the snoot.
Couple that with a tail fin that doesn't resemble most oceanic
Boop a
creatures,
snoot.
and you just might be
Look at
looking at the
you.
source of an enduring legend.
Oh,
But
so
of course, the
cute.
manatee explanation can't account for all of the
I love
descriptions of beautiful
manatees.
faces and long hair.
Everybody can leave me
And manatees
alone.
never venture as far north as Richard Whitbourne did when he claimed to have seen one. Many have
Uh-huh.
longed to see a true mermaid for themselves and have gone to great lengths to prove their existence. Throughout history, some have even claimed to have found that.
See, that's the other thing when they're saying, "Oh, we need to find a true mermaid." Then what is a true mermaid? Give me that definition, sir. Are you literally just looking for a woman that has a fishtail? Is that literally all that is? Like, you don't know what could be in this world. You don't know what has evolved into what all of it just yet. Like, we've been going down the list. There's so many fucking species that even there's even new species that are being discovered today. Like, like you honestly don't know. The fact that it's like, oh, we don't know what a true mermaid looks like. I feel like if we found a true mermaid, we wouldn't know what the fuck it is, and we would probably categorize it as something and not even realize that it's a fucking mermaid. I'm just saying. Like, if you actually saw a real mermaid, you probably wouldn't know what it was because nobody's actually seen one, supposedly. I'm just saying. Like, what kind of argument is that? Like, I'm
But
just
as we're about to
saying.
see, their
Makes
evidence
no
wasn't exactly
sense.
scientific or even honest. The ancient and medieval world was filled with bizarre and
Swear to
fantastic
God,
creatures,
man.
and the mermaid was just one of many. As time marches on, however, the light of discovery seems to have dispelled the shadows of mystery that once covered the earth. And
Uh-huh.
yet, there are those who are keeping the mystery alive.
Ye.
Novelists, dungeon masters, and world builders create spectacular worlds, and if you've ever wanted to do the same, you know that creating a detailed and interconnected world is daunting to say the least. But with World Anvil, even the most complex world building is a breeze. With
Just
its robust tools,
random.
you can write up
Okay.
detailed accounts for each of your species, races, and
Let us
regions,
get
and use the
past
built-in
the
auto-linker function
random
to keep track of
sponsor here.
quests to a
Thank you.
living, breathing, fully inter. Gone are the
Thank
days
you.
of it and complex
Thank
World Anvil
you.
for yourself. Set
Thank
off an
you.
annual plan. So if you've had
Okay.
it, links are also in the description.
Okay. There we go. Okay. And now, let's see. We've seen it. What? Why? That mermaid. What is it? It's twin sister to the deucedest. The deucedest. Is that what that word is? The deucedest? Deucedest? Deucedest looking thing imaginable. Half fish, half flesh. The most odd of all oddities earth or sea has ever produced. I'm sorry. The duditist. The deucedest. The deucedest. That is a hell of a word. Anyway, continue. Jesus Christ. I can't.
In the mid 1800s, posters, pamphlets, and newspaper advertisements began to appear throughout New York City, each
Ah,
one dramatically showcasing beautiful mermaids and claiming that a real specimen had been brought to America.
okay.
A wave of mermaid mania took hold of the city, and many conversations debated whether such a thing could actually be real. So, when the owner of the so called mermaid specimen, one Dr. J. Griffin, opened a week-long exhibit on Broadway, the public flocked to the stage in droves. The creature they saw there was certainly not like the advertisements had promised,
Oh
but
yeah, it's the Fuji mermaid, isn't it? It's the Fuji mermaid where it's like a part monkey, part
it was
fish
no less
thing. Yeah,
astounding.
this thing.
Gasps rippled through the crowd as they laid eyes on what appeared to be a monkey, shriveled
Yes,
and nearly mummified, whose lower half terminated in the scaly tail of a fish.
the
The creature
Fuji
certainly
mermaid.
appeared real, and P.T. Barnum himself would later display it in his American museum. It was
Uh-huh.
so noteworthy that it made an appearance in his autobiography. He described it as an ugly, dried up, black looking, and diminutive
Yup.
specimen, its arms thrown up, giving it the appearance of having died in great agony.
That's
Despite its
sad.
grotesque appearance, people were fascinated by the so-called Fiji mermaid, and
Or
ticket sales
not
to
Fuji,
Barnum's museum
Fiji.
skyrocketed after.
Oh my god, I fucking butchered that too. Someone shoot me. Not really, please. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. I'm just like, uh, Fiji mermaid, not Fuji mermaid. Why did I say Fuji? Maybe because maybe I was thinking Fuji apples. That's what did that. That's what did that. Good job, brain. So the Fiji mermaid, that's what it is. Yes, I remember learning about that one. Go.
His acquisition. Sadly, as you might have guessed, the Fiji mermaid was a hoax.
Of course it
The
was.
specimen itself was likely stitched together by a foreign fisherman and was just one of many like it that were used in religious ceremonies in Japan. The
Not
specimen
surprising.
had made its way to America
Like,
through a
at
series
all.
of purchases before finally catching the eye of Barnum.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I guarantee I wouldn't be surprised. They'd be like, "Oh, look at this." It's like this ignorant foreigner here look out here looking for mermaids. Look at this rich white man looking out here for some mermaids. Like, I guarantee some dudes got together just drinking, being like, "You know what? Let's sell him this. We'll tell him it's this." It's like, "Hold my beer. Watch this shit." Like, I guarantee that's probably how that ended up. I guarantee it. Like, could you imagine? Like, I swear to God, that's like as bad as when like certain memes go too far. Like, I feel like this is what happened. This is the meme that went too far back in the day.
Interestingly,
Messed up
Barnum
as
had
it
orchestrated
sounds,
everything from there,
but that's
including
my
the
thought
existence of
process with
Dr.
it.
J. Griffin. This identity was nothing more than a made-up name assumed by one of Barnum's friends and used to lend legitimacy to the specimen.
Uh-huh.
Barnum certainly knew it was fake all along.
Mm.
Unfortunately, despite surviving a trip across the world and at least several decades, the Fiji mermaid was lost before the
But imagine how much money he got out of fooling everybody too. That's the other factor with this too. That's kind of messed up. It's like not only did you fool half of everybody, but you probably earned a lot of money out of being a con man with this. Like this is like con man BS, man.
End
I'm
of the
telling
19th
you.
century, possibly as a result of one of the many fires that seemed to plague Barnum's exhibitions. It
Ah.
may seem like an obvious hoax to us, but to the people of the time, it was a fascinating and almost life-changing discovery. The transcendent allure of the mermaid was reenacted on a small scale in 19th century New York, as
That's
beautiful
true.
sirens called out from those posters and pamphlets, and people found themselves unable to resist their pull. Of course,
That's
they were
true.
met with a far less beautiful mermaid than what they
Curiosity.
had envisioned, but the irresistible promise of a glimpse into the unknown was nonetheless fulfilled.
To be honest, I do like going to curiosity shops and exhibitions because sometimes you just never know what you're gonna see. It's really interesting.
What is it about these creatures that has cemented them so firmly into our collective imagination and that has appealed to cultures all over the world and
Ooh,
throughout the ages? The answer to that question may be as deep and mysterious as the ocean itself.
yes. Mm. A mermaid found a swimming lad, picked him for her own, pressed her body to his body, laughed, and plunging down, forgot in cruel happiness that even lovers drown. Ooh, ooh, that's dark. By William Butler Yeats. I love the fact that his last name is Yeat. Yeats. Oh, tragic. Tragic.
Even on the surface, the image of the mermaid has clearly evolved over the centuries. The ancient
Hmm.
siren, with her irresistible call and bird like body, was eventually replaced with a
Dude, honestly, this is probably, now that I think about it, now that I actually think about it, this is probably not just where the origins of sirens came, like of that, but also think about like what is it, harpies, like I feel like it had to at some point, like the origin sounds like it may have split into the two, where one half went down the route of like the fish and then the other half kept like the bird aspect and created harpies. At least that's my thought process with it anyway.
fish human hybrid. In many accounts, the song remained, but the allure of the mermaid transcended mere sensory manipulation.
Hmm.
Homer's sirens threatened to turn Odysseus from his quest, beckoning him to yield to his desire and forsake his destiny. Hundreds of years later, as mermaids became
Yeah.
more common
Oh
in medieval
god, what the
bestiaries,
fuck?
symbols
Bruh. Bruh. What is up with them tatas? Okay,
similar symbolism was
continue.
transferred to them.
What is with
But with
that
the influence of
image?
Christianity, it was taken a step
I'm bad,
further. The
everybody.
seductive qualities long associated with mermaids became symbols of sin.
I was
Now,
not
sirens
prepared for that
tempted the faithful
image.
not only to forsake their destinies, but to give up the salvation of their very
My
souls.
goodness.
Let not a woman with a flowing train cheat you of your senses. Sail
Uh-huh.
past the song, it works death. Exert your will, and you have overcome ruin. Bound to the wood of the cross, you shall be freed from destruction. The
Ah.
word of God will be your pilot, and the Holy Spirit will bring you to anchor in the haven of heaven. The
Ah.
13th century Nuremberg Chronicle even shows mermaids in the floodwaters surrounding Noah's Ark, though neither
Yes.
sirens nor mermaids are mentioned in the Bible. If you look closely, you'll even notice a mer dog.
Honestly, okay, so I know he's going by this picture, but I'm like, imagine when this picture was like drawn though. This is probably an artist's depiction more than anything.
As apparently even merfolk have pets. But
Like,
while
don't
we've
be
seen
putting
that
this
many
as
people in
like
the Middle
biblical
Ages took the existence of
accuracy.
mermaids as
What?
fact, even the idea of a mer dog wouldn't have been so far-fetched to the medieval reader.
A mer
Throughout
dog.
antiquity, it was widely and
Forth
firmly
forth.
believed that for each organism on land, there
A mermaid dog, not low key being a puppy sea witch here. Forth 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 forth. Anyway, continue.
existed a marine counterpart.
I'm making
It was
myself
all a
laugh
part of
today.
creation's
Yay.
perfect symmetry. If humans exist on land, it only makes sense that a counterpart would exist in the sea. As
Uh-huh.
T.H. White puts it, the creation was a mathematical diagram drawn in parallel lines. Things
Huh.
did not only have a moral, they often had physical counterparts in other strata. There was a horse in the land and a seahorse in the sea. For that matter, there was probably a Pegasus in heaven. But while humanity had been granted the divine ability to live a righteous life, It seemed that mermaids existed to pull us back to the depths of our basest instincts.
Yee.
As the centuries progressed, however, the creatures once meant to signify the powers of temptation gradually began to personify those very vices and embrace them more fully. In the sexually repressed 19th century, mermaid artwork took on increasingly seductive and mysterious qualities, their intrinsic allure seeming to call from beyond the canvas. In fact, it's the art from this era that became the greatest influence on our modern perception of what the mermaid looks like.
Yes.
Overall, the symbolism we've discussed so far is fairly obvious, but like the ocean itself, there is much more to the mermaid than what appears on the surface. Diving deeper, the reason for their universal appeal becomes even more apparent. The sea itself, vast, dark, ever-changing, and unknowable, has long been deeply connected to the human psyche. Since ancient times, the ocean has been embodied by feminine deities like Amphitrite, Salacia, or the Greek nymphs of the water. To the ancient world, the ocean was a source of life, fertility, and nourishment, but it also brought death and destruction to those who tried to brave it. At their core, mermaids represent a stark duality. Like the sea, they are alluring yet dangerous. They embody fertility and life, yet often bring destruction. They are at once human and animal. They are intensely desirable, yet wrapped in a kind of biological chastity belt, keeping
Essentially, we are a force to be reckoned with.
them ultimately out of reach. This juxtaposition makes the concept of the mermaid deeply intriguing, especially to men. Psychoanalyst Carl Jung believed that all men possess a feminine side, which is often repressed. Those who fail to integrate their feminine anima, as he called it, would project its qualities onto something external, and usually it results in both fear and attraction.
Exactly. That's actually, honestly, I kind of agree with that because there is a lot of men in this world that repress like their femininity when it comes to things because it's like I don't know if it's just out of fear of not wanting to appear vulnerable or what exactly, but it's really interesting. Anyway, oh, hello. Hi. Oh, you're heading out? Okay. Yeah, she just showed up. Okay. Love you. Have a good day. Be safe, drive safe.
I want to do donuts.
Don't do donuts in the road. I love you. Yep, just telling me that. It's all good. But yes, like I feel like a lot of guys in this world are like afraid to be vulnerable, and I feel like that's what comes down to. But that's just me, you guys. That's just me. Like, sorry, I got interrupted there. I was just like, oh, random smoochies. Okay. Like, hello, bye bye.
Mermaids, emerging as they do from the depths of the subconscious, could represent this yearning to know ourselves, ultimately kept at a distance by a fear of sinking into the unknown.
Yes.
Even still, the mermaid calls to us. Author Mary Lau puts it this way: the secret of the power is in their song. It is the sound of the subversive, luring us from the orderly, conscious world down to the depth of the world of dreams, and the harder we try to ignore that singing, the more we desperately want to hear it.
Yes.
Today, mermaids are found in whimsical films, TV shows, on logos and jewelry, beach towels, and costume shops.
Yes.
Her mystique has diminished, writes
Dude,
Sky
oh my God.
Alexander, partly because she's omnipresent now.
Like I still, dude, I want to get me one of those swim tails. I know they're so expensive, but I want one so badly to go swimming with. Like seriously, I feel like it would be expensive for me just because I'm a big girl, and like I would have to get like a plus size swim tail, like IRL, you guys. Like, but I would love it.
Instead of rare. Whether or not mermaids truly exist, much like the wild parts of the earth that once held so much mystery, it seems that we've tamed her. But the enduring mythos that surrounds these captivating creatures cannot be domesticated.
No.
Perhaps today the call of the siren has a different purpose: to dive into the depths of the unknown, to confront our fears, and to emerge not as an amalgamation of two natures, but as one, fully human.
Fully
If you
human.
enjoyed this video, consider leaving a like below and check out this video for more. As always, thanks for watching, and remember, you matter.
You matter. That's right. All right, you guys. That is sounding like my cue now that it is getting quiet along the other lines of things. We're kind of having just a quiet stream today in general. I'm going to throw it on this just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. I figured it would be quite a short stream today, and that's okay, you guys. That's perfectly fine. I'm not very high energy. No, this Siren Sea Witch does not have high energy today. We are going through all kinds of stuff, but that's okay. The horrors persist, but so do I. I hope you all enjoyed my our deep dive into some mermaid biology and some origins of the sirens and such. I really wanted to kind of do a little bit of that, since I know a few people on my channel that have come here have been a very big fan of mermaids. And I myself, like, I love the mystery behind it. I always have loved the mystery and the allure of all of the ocean and sea life. And it makes me want to explore more each and every day. Each and every day with you guys. Yes. All right, though. I'm going to hop off here today. I hope you all enjoyed. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe. I am Aqua Candy Love. I am a siren puppy sea witch. Don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube and follow me on Twitch. You can also subscribe to me on Twitch. Yes. I hope you all enjoyed today's video, today's stream of me being just existing. I will see you all on Tuesday for some memes. Bye-bye.